This is page 300. And isn't that amazing? We are on page 300 in our textbook. That's pretty cool. All right, guided practice. Determine whether the given value is a solution of the equation. So these are the ones where they're going to give us an equation, and then we're going to decide if the one they gave us here is x equal to 14. And these are all going to be yes or no. Either x equals 14 makes the equation true, or it's not true. On number 2, is n equal to 52? Does that make it true or not? We're going to find out. So here's how this works. And on 1 and 2, they give us bubbles, and on the rest of them, we're just going to fill them in. Okay? So on number 1, the problem is 23 equals x minus 9, and they want us to say that x equals 14. So I'm going to take x out, and they actually do that. Look, x goes right here, and then you replace it with 14. And is 14 minus 9 equal to 23? Of course not. 14 minus 9 is equal to 5. 5 is not equal to 23. The answer is no. How about number 2? N is equal to 52. So we're going to take 52 out and replace it with, or we're going to take n out and replace it with 52. And 52 over 13 means 52 divided by 13. And how many times does 13 go into 52? We could actually check that right here by multiplying. 4 times 13, is that 52? 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5 is 52. So 15 divided by 13 is 4. 4 equals 4, the answer is yes. So for the rest of these, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm actually going to scroll up and make a little bit of space here. I'm going to do the same exact thing, except for all I'm going to do on all of these. You can actually see I could do it real quick. On number 3, it says x is equal to 32. So I'm going to take x out and replace it with 32. Is 14 plus 32 equal to 46? And the one right below it, number 5. K is equal to 5. It says right here, k is equal to 5. So I'm going to take k out and replace it with 5. So that's what I'm going to do on every one of these problems. If you want to try these on your own, you could hit pause and then resume the video when you're ready to check your answers. All right, number 3, I've got 14 plus 32. I can do that mentally. In the ones place, I've got 4 plus 2, that's 6, and 1 plus 3, that's 4, 46. The answer is yes. X is equal to 32. That makes it a true statement. Number 14, I've got right here y is equal to 5. So I'm going to take y out and replace it with 5. And it's 17 times 5. Is 17 times 5 equal to 85? And the answer is yes, it is. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. That's equal to 85. The answer is yes. Number 5. It's k divided by 5, and they want us to say that k is equal to 5, so I'm going to put 5 over 5. 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1, and yet this says it's equal to 25. That's not true. 1 is not equal to 25, so we have to write no. That's not the correct solution. All right, number 6. Number 6 is 2.5 right next to n is equal to 45, and then they're telling us that n is equal to 18. So I'm going to take n out and replace it with 18. In other words, I need to do 2.5 times 18. And if I get 45, I'm going to write that they're, wonder why those are not erasing. Okay. I'm going to do 2.5 times 18, and if I get 45, then I'm going to write yes, and if I don't get 45, I have to write no. 8 times 5 is 40. All right, I had to pause for a minute because we're having technical difficulties. Okay, 8 times 5 right here. 8 times 5 is 40, so I put the 0 and carry the 4. Oh, wow. The technical difficulties are back. 8 times 5 is 16, plus 4 is 20. Now I'm going to annex a 0 before I start multiplying. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 2 is 2. And it doesn't look like it's going to be 45, but it is. Watch. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. And I got to move my decimal over how many times? 1. The answer is 45. 45 is equal to 45. The answer is yes. A much faster way to check that, even though I don't necessarily want you doing this, would have been to do 2.5 times 18 is equal to 45. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move up a little bit and rewrite some of our answers here. We decided that 3 was yes and that 5 was no. We decided that 4 and 6 were both yes. And we're now on number 7, and we're going to take m out and replace it with 11. So I'm going to put 11 right here. and then I'm going to do 11 plus 9, and is that equal to 21? It is not, because 11 plus 9 is equal to 20. It was close, but it's not equivalent, or it's not a solution. Number 8, I'm going to take h out and replace it with 6. And I'm going to ask myself, is 21 minus 6 equal to 15? And it is, so I'm going to write yes. Number 9, I'm going to take d out and replace it with 15. And then I'm going to do 15 minus 4, and I'm not going to get 19. 15 minus 4 is 11. This says it's equal to 19. That means the answer is no. Number 10, I'm going to take x out and replace it with 52. And then I'm going to read from left to right. 5 plus 52 is equal to 47. And that doesn't make any sense. 5 plus 52 can't be less than 52. That would be 57, not 47. Therefore, this is a no. On number 11, I'm going to take w out and I'm going to replace it with 9. And now I've got 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. That is true, so I'm going to write yes. I am on number 12. Number 12 reads, 5q equals 31, where q is 13. Is 5 right next to 13 equal to 31? Well, 5 right next to 13 means 5 times 13. And 5 times 6 is 30. Therefore, 5 times 13 can't be anywhere close to 31. So I'm going to say no. I don't actually have to figure out what 5 times 13 is. It's 65, by the way. I don't have to figure that out. I don't have to know that's 65. But if I know that 5 times 13 can't be 31, that's good enough. Okay, let's move on. We are on number 13. It says each floor of a hotel has R rooms. On 8 floors, there are a total of 256 rooms. Write an equation to represent the situation. So they want us to start with words, and I'm going to help you make a little bit of sense of this. The boxes here are for the words and the clues, and then we're going to write the equation over here. This is what they're doing here. Probably doesn't make a ton of sense to you, so I'm going to just help you on number 13. Okay, so the number of rooms it's the number of floors. The number of floors, which is going to be, I'm going to do that right here, which is going to be 8. That's going to be multiplied by the number of rooms on each floor. And the number of rooms on each floor is R. So it's 8 times R. And that's going to be the total number of rooms. And that's going to be equal to 256. That's all we have to do here for number 8. I know that's kind of confusing. Should make a little bit of sense. If you know the number of floors and you know the number of rooms on each floor, you would multiply them to get the total number of rooms. So it's going to be 8 floors times R rooms per floor, and that's a total of 256. Let's not overthink that too much. Let's go ahead and move on. We're on number 14. All we have to do on these is write the equation. I'm going to help you. Number 14 says, in the school band there are 5 trumpet players and F flute players. There are twice as many flute players as there are trumpet players. Write an equation to represent this situation. Now, I can see going 2 different ways with this problem. And in fact, they would both make sense. The way the book wants us to look at this, which is kind of weird, so it's pretty tricky on number 14 is pretty tricky, because they use this word twice here. And most kids would recognize this word twice as multiplied by 2. So a lot of kids would, I'm going to put this as my second answer, a lot of kids would say, well, there's 5 trumpet players and there's twice as many trumpet players as, or twice as many, what does it say, twice as many flute players as trumpet players. So you would go 5 times 2 and you would get the number of flute players. And I'm going to put F for flute players because that's what it says, F flute players. So you'd go 5 times 2 is 10, or 5 times 2 is F. And that makes a ton of sense. But the book actually wanted you to solve this by dividing, by saying, we don't know how many flute players. This is the book, this is the answer the book wants. I'm going to put it over here first. This is a great answer, but this is the answer the book wants. They wanted you to think about it this way. We don't know how many flute players there are, but if we divided that by 2, we would get 5. Because we know that there's twice as many flute players as as trumpet players. Now both of those answers would be 10. F would be 10. This is the answer they prefer on the left, but both answers are okay. That won't be on a checkup, but if it were, both answers would be acceptable. All right, number 15 reads, Pedro bought 8 tickets to a basketball game. He paid a total of $208. Write an equation to determine whether each ticket cost $26 or $28. So this is a huge clue. He paid a total of $208. That means is equal to $208. Now he bought 8 tickets, but how much did each ticket cost? I don't know. I'm going to put a cursive, kind of a T with a tail on it. That's a perfect expression right there, because each ticket is going to have a certain cost, so you're going to multiply that by 8. So 8 times the unknown cost is going to equal $208. And then they give us 2 options here, 26 or 28. And I don't really know what the answer is, so I'm just going to guess. We could divide, but I'm just going to guess. I'm going to do 8 times 26. And if that's equal to 208, then that's the answer. And if not, we'll have to try 28. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20, and I guessed right on the first one. It's $26 per ticket. And I told you I could have divided. I actually could have divided the $208 by the 8 tickets, and I would have got 26. So we know it's $26 per ticket. All right, let's check out number 16. The high temperature was 92. This was 24 degrees higher than the overnight low. Write an equation to determine whether the temperature was 62 or 68. So we don't know what the temperature was, but we know that it was that 92 was higher, so we're going to add 24. Whatever that low was, you would add 24 to get up to the high, which is 92. So an unknown temperature plus 24 makes 92. So that's our equation. Then we have to determine whether the unknown temperature was 62 or 68. So once again, I'm simply going to guess. I'll start with 62. Is 62 plus 24 equal to 92? 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. That's not true, so I'm going to try 68 instead. 68 and 24, and I'm hoping this turns out to be 92. 8 plus 4 is 12. 6 plus 8 or 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, you get 92. So the answer is, it was 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That was the original temperature. All right, we are going to do the essential check-in question, because it's not too hard. It says, how can you determine whether a number is a solution of an equation? Replace the number for the variable and solve. If the solution is equal, or if the numbers are equal, the number is a solution. Good enough. Basically, here's the key to this answer. I probably overthought it. Here's the key, though. The key is this line right here. Replace the number for the variable and solve. That's what we do. If that's all you write for this, that's good enough. That's the answer for number 17. Okay, awesome. You are done with page 300. Great job.